Scott Adams' How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big is a refreshingly honest and humorous memoir that doubles as a practical guide to success. Rather than following conventional advice about setting goals and staying positive, Adams turns the traditional success narrative on its head, embracing failure, systems thinking, and personal energy management as his guiding principles. The book is not a chronological memoir but a series of life lessons wrapped in storytelling, revealing how a man who failed at multiple careers still managed to find extraordinary success. Adams begins by framing his philosophy around the idea that goals are for losers. This provocative stance doesn't dismiss ambition but argues that goals place happiness in the future, whereas systems, repetitive processes that guide your daily actions, allow for daily satisfaction and long-term growth. For instance, instead of setting a goal to lose 10 pounds, a system would be committing to exercise daily. This mindset shift keeps morale high because you feel successful every day you follow your system, regardless of immediate results. One of the central themes of the book is the importance of managing personal energy over time. Adams proposes that instead of managing time or tasks, we should focus on optimizing our energy levels. Everyone has different times of day when they feel most energetic and creative, and aligning your most important activities with those times is a key to high performance. He shares personal anecdotes about structuring his day to take advantage of his peak energy windows, which he attributes as a major reason for his productivity. Another powerful takeaway is Adams' notion of skill stacking. He argues that becoming world-class at one thing is incredibly difficult and unlikely, but becoming reasonably good at several complementary skills creates a unique and valuable combination. For him, combining basic business knowledge, drawing ability, humor, writing skills, and public speaking made him uniquely suited to create a comic strip like Dilbert. This principle applies universally, encouraging readers to build a diverse toolkit rather than chasing mastery in one narrow field. Adams shares candid details of his failures, ventures in restaurant ownership, app development, and corporate jobs that led nowhere. He doesn't frame these failures as stepping stones in a cliché way. Instead, he describes them as natural, even necessary, byproducts of experimentation. Each failed attempt taught him something that could be applied to future efforts. Failure, in his view, is not something to be feared but rather something to be expected, even embraced. Health, both physical and mental, plays a prominent role in Adams' framework. He emphasizes diet, exercise, and sleep as the foundational systems that fuel everything else. If you want to be successful, start by taking care of your body. He credits regular exercise and a diet low in simple carbohydrates for giving him sustained energy and focus. It's not flashy advice, but his insistence on simplicity and consistency makes it feel both credible and actionable. An unexpected part of the book involves Adams' experience with vocal cord spasms that left him unable to speak for extended periods. This health scare became a powerful metaphor for the book's central themes. Despite the devastating impact of this condition, he experimented with various treatments and remained persistent, eventually recovering. It's a deeply human moment that illustrates how systems, optimism, and persistence can help navigate even the most difficult personal challenges. Humor, Adams explains, is a learned skill. He breaks down how he studied joke structure and comedic timing to improve the quality of Dilbert. He treats humor as another skill to stack, one that opens doors in social, professional, and creative arenas. He also discusses the importance of observation and being willing to appear foolish during the learning process, which is applicable to virtually any skill you might want to develop. Adams explores the idea that selfishness can be a virtue when applied wisely. He proposes that taking care of yourself first, your health, education, and finances, is not selfish in the long term. In fact, by becoming stronger and more capable, you're in a better position to help others. He pushes back on societal expectations that equate self-sacrifice with moral superiority, encouraging readers to shift toward a more sustainable model of giving. One of the more controversial but thought-provoking parts of the book is Adams' belief in affirmations. He describes his habit of writing down specific desires repeatedly, such as becoming a famous cartoonist, long before it came true. While he admits there's no scientific explanation for why affirmations might work, he sees their power in creating focus and clarity. He doesn't push this as a universal truth but presents it as something that worked for him, leaving the door open for readers to experiment. The book also makes a compelling case for avoiding unnecessary complexity. Adams values simplicity in decision-making, whether in choosing what to eat, how to work out, or how to invest. Simpler systems are easier to follow consistently, and consistency over time is what leads to success. This advice is especially relevant in a world saturated with overwhelming options and ever-changing advice. Money, for Adams, is not the ultimate goal but an essential resource that enables freedom. He talks openly about his financial decisions, his early failures with money, and how financial literacy is a key part of building a personal system. Rather than chasing wealth for its own sake, he advises readers to develop enough financial independence to buy time and freedom, which he considers true wealth. Networking and luck also come into the picture, but not in a mystical way. Adams acknowledges the role of chance but insists that systems, skill stacking, and preparation increase the odds of serendipity. When you try many things, you create more slots on the roulette wheel, as he puts it, and increase your exposure to lucky breaks. His own story of how Dilbert took off, part skill, part timing, part luck, illustrates this beautifully. Throughout the book, Adams' tone remains light, self-deprecating, and deeply pragmatic. He doesn't preach or pretend to have everything figured out. Instead, he shares what has worked for him and encourages readers to treat life like an experiment. The failures, the routines, the experiments, they all add up not to a perfect life but a fulfilling and successful one by his own definition. Ultimately, how to fail at almost everything and still win big is about redefining success on your own terms. It's about trading rigid goals for adaptive systems, stacking ordinary skills into something valuable, and treating failure not as a roadblock but as a source of feedback. Through stories of setbacks and persistence, Adams delivers an inspiring yet grounded message: you don't have to be exceptional to win, you just need to be consistent, self-aware, and strategic in how you use your time and energy.